another ceasefire. The UN is acting on Resolution 377A, though it's not legally binding. So the Israeli government is obviously going to ignore this. The only way to stop the Israeli government is for other UN members to station troops in Gaza to stop the attacks by the Israeli government. Um, the various UN members were willing to send troops to Ukraine to help protect Ukrainians. It's now time for UN members to send troops to Gaza and the West Bank to help protect Palestinians against the Israeli government.
The UN General Assembly is set to hold an emergency meeting on Gaza on Tuesday. It was requested by the Arab group and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation after the Security Council failed to agree on a resolution calling for a ceasefire. Kristen Salumi has more from the United Nations.
This emergency General Assembly meeting was triggered by the United States veto of a humanitarian ceasefire resolution in the Security Council, a resolution that was favored by the vast majority of Security Council members. In calling for this General Assembly meeting, Arab and Islamic countries here at the United Nations invoked Resolution 377, which allows the General Assembly to act when the Security Council is deadlocked and unable to uphold its responsibility to maintain international peace and security. But to be fair, the General Assembly has done this many times before when it comes to the situation in Palestine, as recently as October 27th, when 140 countries here passed a humanitarian truce resolution, a resolution that had little impact at the time, but experts describe it as a pressure tactic.
But no matter the amount of pressure you put on the Israeli government, they're not going to stop until they've killed every single Palestinian person in Gaza and the West, because the Israeli government sees every single Palestinian person as a terrorist. And with the backing of the United States, why will they care about what the UN says when they know the United States will just veto anything against the Israeli government?
To be blunt, I think that the Arab group and their allies are engineering a series of public events designed to put more pressure on the US. So the US was pushed into a veto in the Security Council. Now council ambassadors are at Rafah. Then the General Assembly will pass a resolution calling for a ceasefire. It's building up a sense of global diplomatic pressure on Washington to change position. But Washington may hold firm and ignore that.
Under international law,
Yeah, because majority of the people in the United States government are Christian Zionists, and they eventually the end of the world is going to happen according to biblical prophecy times, and either all the Jewish people will either be killed off by Jesus or convert to Christianity. Christian Zionists in the United States don't truly care about Jewish people or Israeli people. They just want the end times to happen because they're religiously insane people.
General Assembly resolutions amount to a recommendation, whereas Security Council resolutions are legally binding. But Israel has ignored even legally binding resolutions in the past. Kristen Salumi.